Hello viewer, it is so painful to know that you clicked on this video, and for that, I must thank you. Did I eat? Did I eat? Hey guys, what's up? It's imuRgency and welcome back to my channel. Today we are here to talk, if you couldn't get by that intro. We're here to talk about Wednesday, Netflix's newest show. And we have so much to talk about because this show really did it and solidified itself as the next big thing. I feel like this show is definitely in the running to be like one of Netflix's big hits, like one of like the Stranger Things, like one of the Bridgerton type beats. And I know that's a bold thing to say because both of those shows are huge, but just the way that this show has been received and the way that this show was just presented, yeah, this show has a lot of big things coming, and we're going to talk about exactly why I feel that way, give a little recap on the show, and then do what we normally do, breaking down the characters, talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, as well as diving into a little speculation about what could go down in season 2, because in case you didn't know, season 2 is confirmed. It's on the way. But before we do any of that, if you are new to the channel and like all things TV, pop culture, commentary, or fashion, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we have all of that content coming out every single week. And also while you're at it, you can follow me on TikTok to see my reactions to these shows that we actually break down on here before these videos go up. Instagram to see a more day-to-day lifestyle fashion-y vibe, and Twitter for all other thoughts, all at imuRgency. And one last bit of plug, if you haven't already, make sure to leave a like on this video because that helps out so much with the YouTube algorithm. And in fact, I'll give you a second to do that while I practice my Kubrick scare. Kubrick stare. All right, ready? Okay. Did you like the video? I really hope you did, because if not, that would be very uncomfortable. Wednesday was honestly such a fun watch, and I feel like what really drove this show home was Jenna Ortega's performance and portrayal of Wednesday Addams. This show basically follows Wednesday Addams, you know, from the Addams family as sort of a spin-off, showing what an aged up high school age version of Wednesday Addams would be like, following her along her journey at Nevermore Academy, which is for outcasts, meaning everyone from like werewolves, vampires to, I guess, like psychics, like Wednesday Addams. And of course, there's a larger mystery that takes place in this show, which we'll get into a little later. But really, I feel like the star of the show, the thing that really just keeps you watching episode to episode, is Wednesday Addams, and just seeing how cruel, sadistic, and also oddly warm she can be to different people. And like I was saying, this performance was really brought home by Jenna Ortega, who did a phenomenal job portraying her character. It's just the way that she perfectly matches the look, while also paying homage to the original Wednesday Addams, who also happens to be in this show. Christina Ricci, who you may remember more recently from Yellow Jackets, was one of the original Wednesday Addams, and comes back in this show to play, spoiler alert, I'll give you a second, the villain. And having that full circle moment just within the cast is just so amazing, and it lets you know this is already going to be a hit. Like, I feel like the show, along with its marketing, is doing such a good job to ensure that this becomes a hit, whether that be from like the really soundbitey press runs that the cast has gone on, to the social media presence of having Wednesday Addams actually have a Twitter account that tweets pretty actively and in Wednesday Addams's voice, to Miss Jenna Ortega herself being able to queer code literally any character that she plays, to bring the mass support from the girls and the gays, and you know that we run pop culture, so the mix of all those things together is really, truly crafting a hit before our very eyes. So I am by no means surprised that this show has already been greenlit for a season 2. But let's actually get into each of these characters. It would be remiss of me to not start with Miss Addams herself. Wednesday overall is just a solid character. Like, they do a really good job of not making her seem too one-dimensional, and I feel like that was something that was done very intentionally, because Wednesday, while she was a pop culture icon before this show, was kind of one-dimensional and didn't really have major parts before in like the Addams family. So I feel like a lot of worry was going into like just having Wednesday be like this whole one-dimensional character throughout, but they do a really good job of fleshing her out while keeping those brutal deadpan moments, while also modernizing her character enough to where she could still be relatable and funny and all these other things that a good character should be. And might I say, Wednesday Addams' one-liner in this show, unmatched. Simply unmatched. It is so funny, not only like what she says, but the delivery of what she says, like the not even veiled threats towards people that Wednesday makes. That'll do it. That'll do it right there. Like, there's just something about the way that you think you know where her insult or where her threat is going, but then she takes it in a completely different direction.
Wednesday? I come in peace?
That's a shame. I brought my pocket maze. The medieval kind.
She always has a way of making everything just a little bit more sinister, and I love that about her. Like, honestly iconic. Like, there's even a scene where she gets offered to join the secret society and she turns down this highly coveted secret society and gags the entire room. Yeah, she's an icon. She's a legend. She is the moment. But with that, one thing I really appreciated about her character is that they didn't seem to make her like larger than life or like invincible. Like, while she had that confidence and that air about her, she definitely was still susceptible to many things that regular teens are susceptible to, like trying to feel close to people, even though she wants to lock herself away from that. And seeing that character development from her, especially with the different characters that she comes to meet and befriend, was really nice. And something else that was really nice to see from Wednesday and from the Addams family overall was the Latinx representation, because the Addams family is actually a Latino family. So seeing that representation in Wednesday with Jenna Ortega, along with all of her family, was just good casting and like not whitewashing the characters. And it was really cool that Wednesday's identity wasn't just her physical character, it was actually portrayed and brought into the story. Like, there were scenes where Wednesday was just chilling in her room listening to classical Latin music, and while that may be a small thing, that does show a sense of like intentionality of making that world a little bit more real and not just having diverse characters there just to have them, which personally I really appreciated. This is very spoiler territory, and it has to do with the last episode. One thing about Wednesday is that while she was talking up her shit, like she was talking her shit through the entire season, but for that finale, for that final episode, Wednesday continuously just kept getting beat down, like beat all the way down. I was like, ooh, they really just keep reminding you that you're just a little girl. Like, all those moves and all those tricks and all those threats that she had all the way throughout the season just kind of all went out the window. Like, the director must have been fed up at that point, because how homegirl get knocked out with a shovel, sliced in the hand, stabbed in the gut only to be healed and then choked out, slammed down again, shot with an arrow, and then telekinesis to the point of almost death, all in one episode. This was all in one episode, mind you. And in this episode, this had to be a span of like maybe an hour and a half. Like, homegirl was going through it. Like, what did Jenna do on set to have her character written in a way where she just continuously gets beat down? But on the positive side, that really just shows her strength, because I don't think just anybody can go through all that and then still come out victorious walking away. Like, wow, that was a lot of physical trauma on a 16-year-old girl. That's just crazy to me. But let's talk about some of the other characters. I feel like a good character to talk about is Wednesday's roommate, Enid. I'll be honest, at first I was not a huge fan of Enid when she first hopped on the scene, just because I felt like the dialogue in the beginning was kind of cringy. But then I realized that was like sort of part of the character. Like, that was like Enid's whole thing, was that she was like super happy, super positive, super kind of cringy, in contrast to Wednesday's sort of monotone, deadpan sort of disposition. But then I saw how Enid and Wednesday's relationship sort of developed and began to process as the season went on, and they got closer and closer, and I started to love Enid down. Enid's whole thing is that she's a werewolf but can't really transform into a werewolf fully yet. But Enid was fun. I feel like she was definitely necessary to like balance out the energy that was going on in this show. Like, even with like the show's whole color palette, like you can see how she just like contrasts to like what the vibe of the show is giving. Like, I feel like a lot of the show's colors were like blues, muted colors, blacks, whites, but Enid was one of the characters that consistently like brought colorful vibes, colorful energy into the show, which aesthetically was pleasing, and then also with her colorful personality just brought more and more to the show as a whole. I will say though, when Enid finally does wolf out and you get to see like the little pink poof on her head, I'm sorry, that took me out. Like, I was so excited for her wolfy form, but seeing that pink poof, like, be serious. Like, it was a different curl pattern than the rest of the I'm sorry, living it down. I've been seeing the stand say that Enid and Wednesday have like some chemistry going on, and I don't deny that there could possibly be something there. But Enid's relationship with Ajax reminds me a lot of, honestly, a lot of other couples in other shows. I can't remember the couple specifically, but like that vibe, like that trope of like dumb, cool skater boy and like preppy, high energy girly girl. If you know in the comments like what couple I'm like thinking of, or if you have like another example of like that trope in media, let me know in the comments below. But it reminds me so much of a different couple I saw recently, but I can't quite put my finger on it. But I don't like them together. I'll just say it, I don't like them together. Ajax and Enid have the chemistry of like a doorknob and a bullfrog. Like, there's nothing there. So could a possible little sapphic romance take place, be possible? Who knows? Season 2 possibilities are endless. But moving on, next let's talk about Thing. And I am a Thing stan. Thing brought so much while saying so little. Like, you know you have impact when you can steal a show without saying a single word. And honestly, I'm impressed by like the production of Thing. Like, I saw this one picture on Twitter of like how they actually did Thing, and like that was just like a man with like his actual hand in like a blue green screen suit. I thought that was all CGI. But for some reason, having that be an actual man's hand makes it even cooler, because the amount of like character that just went into like when Thing was like kneeling or like being emotive or like even like the sign language, that was an impressive performance, and I really don't think we give enough credit to Thing as a whole. Shout out to whoever the hand actor was, because I know there were multiple takes there, and like, and especially when Thing was like stressed or like nervous, Thing was moving fast, like praying rapidly for your recovery. Like, I hope there was no carpal tunnel involved, because like that was a lot. But I really did love Thing. Like, I always love when the main character has like a little sidekick going on, and Thing honestly just has my heart. I saw on Twitter that people were like crushing on Thing, and to that I think maybe you need some help. I feel like there's people you can talk to for that, because that might be a little much. But love Thing down. And since we're on to the men, let's talk about Xavier. Xavier. The way that no one in this show wants to pronounce the X in that man's name. It's not Xavier, it's Xavier. Xavier was just weird to me this whole season. Like, he was strange. Like, even though he got cleared, his name got cleared, like he is good and dandy, like he is just weird to me. Like, I just personally wasn't a huge fan of his character just because of how much he was pining for Wednesday, when there was actually zero chemistry there. Like, he wanted to be Tyler so bad. And that's a whole different thing. Like, the way that white men were just propelling themselves at Wednesday this season. Like, she must be some kind of enchantress. Like, I don't know what it is about a deadpan soft goth girl in this show that just does it for every single white man. She just enchants everyone in her path. And love that for Wednesday, but like, please give the girl some space. Like, dang! I also love that Xavier's power was like kind of weird. I didn't fully understand like the scope of it, and I still kind of don't think I do. I'm interested to see how he develops in season 2, because he definitely needs it. In my opinion, like, he kind of suffered from like background character syndrome, in my opinion. But honestly, this point was like kind of one of my major cons with this season, was that a lot of the side characters felt like that. Like, I know the show is called Wednesday, but it really did just feel like Wednesday's show, and all the other characters were kind of just living in her world. Like, they all had like their mini moments, like Enid with her parents, and then Bianca with her parents, and then Xavier, not really, and Tyler, kind of, because he was the villain, spoiler alert. But like, a lot of the side characters kind of just like fell flat, in my opinion. Like, I definitely feel like their time to shine will be next season, and hopefully we'll get some more development there. But like, as far as like now goes, you know, they're all fun, they're all great characters, but I just would like to get more out of them, like in their own sphere. But since I mentioned her, let's talk about Bianca. And first, I might say, yes, I love the dark-skinned black girl representation on this show. Though I will say I am a little upset that she was typecast as like the villain for the first couple of episodes, until she kind of got faded out from being like the it girl after the dance. I want more from her. I want more from Bianca. Like, we saw that she gets a little boo, another dark-skinned meow, which is cute, but I just need more from her. I need more from Bianca. I feel like she definitely has like the coolest powers. Like, she has the most powerful powers. And now that the beef between Wednesday and Bianca is kind of over, I feel like they can definitely become closer friends, because they're both such powerful women that if they teamed up, I feel like they would run Nevermore. They would run Nevermore. So season 2, I'm hoping for more from Bianca, because we need more Bianca. Weems. I hated Weems. I'm sorry. She was serving. Principal Weems was serving. She ate down every single look that she had, but something about her just itched me in the wrong way. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Love Weems down. Like, I really wasn't sure if I could trust her or not, but she ended up turning out to like be like a good person. I thought she was sort of in on like all the bad stuff that was going on. But it's just the way, like, how do you pull up on the villain, right? How do you pull up on her, knowing that she is dangerous and being a shapeshifter yourself? Why do you not expect her to retaliate when you corner her like that? Like, why did you just sit there and take that syringe to the neck? Like, I feel like you've made it this far being such a powerful shapeshifter. Something could have changed. Like, you could have dodged that. Like, there was no reason why you had to croak like that. That scene just kind of bothered me and kind of just like irked me about her character. Like, she was built up to be such a powerful character and was like feared and respected, just to be taken out by a syringe. Like, a syringe that you could have seen coming because they were watching. Like, they were Like, out of all the calculations, like, Wednesday, did you not see that coming? Did you not see that be a possibility? You know that she poisons people with nightshade, and you saw that she was working with nightshade. Why would you not put two and two together, being like, maybe we should have a little distance, maybe we should take this a little bit more seriously? But for me, that was just like icing on the cake for Weems. Like, I feel like there was so much more we could have gone with Weems. Like, the dynamic between Morticia and Weems, like, I love their little rivalry, and I wish we got some more of that. But unless Weems gets resurrected or something in season 2, I'm sad to see her go. She just kind of irked me. And since we're talking about that, Laurel overall, I really liked her as a villain. I feel like Christina Ricci does a really good job being like the kind of kooky villain. Like, I really like seeing her in Yellow Jackets and like that sort of role, and she's kind of in a similar role now of like being like a villainous sort of, can you trust her, can you not trust her? In my opinion, she was just kind of able to get a little bit too far for not having any powers. Like, how did she get away with all that, you know? It's just the way that at the end she pulled out a Glock on Wednesday, and Wednesday is just like, that's the first smart decision you've made. And I'm like, gag. Like, you didn't have to eat my girl up like that. Like, you really did not. But finally, let's talk about Tyler. Last character we're talking about. I want to know, did you ship Wednesday with Tyler or Xavier? Honestly, I shipped her with neither. Tyler's being more direct about his advances and less weird than Xavier, but Tyler and Wednesday never really did it for me, especially since we find out that he's the Hyde. And just his complete character 180 once it gets revealed that he's the Hyde, I did love that. I always love a twist in the character where they're able to like switch like that and just show how much they're faking it. Like, I loved it in Do Revenge, and I love it now, like a really goody two-shoes character just turning into someone who's just really sinister and was plotting this whole time. Although I will say, like, his dad, what's going on with the dad? Like, if he knew that his son was a Hyde, what's really going on? And at the end with like Tyler where he like escapes, you know, there's a lot of questions, there's a lot going on that can be explained in season 2, but like Tyler's still very much alive and still very much Heidi. But yeah, I was not shipping him with Wednesday whatsoever. Now we got that out the way, let's talk about some speculation, because this season was great. Love this season. Like we said, we had some good and we had some bad, but where can we go from here? In season 2, I want to see more of the Addams family. I want to see Pugsley enroll, because I loved Pugsley in every single scene he was in. He was so adorable, and I love the way that Wednesday would just bully him relentlessly, and he'd just be like, love you, sis. Like, I want Pugsley and Nevermore. I want him involved at least in like a side story, especially like seeing the similarities between Pugsley and like the beekeeper guy. I forgot his name. Like, I'd love to see that. Also, just seeing Morticia and Gomez. Love that. Their dynamic is really great, and I'm glad that they were weaved into this season multiple times. I want to sort of keep that in season 2, just because I feel like casting did such a great job in getting these people that can portray these characters in such a way. Like, I love the portrayal. I also want to see more from Wednesday. I want to see her unlock more of her powers. Like, I want to see what Wednesday looks like with more control over her visions, even though I know now that she can no longer see Goody Addams because of like her healing magic that happened somehow. I want to see more of that for her, or like discovering like a different power. I don't know, maybe something from her dad's side. I don't know if her dad had any powers or anything like that. I don't know the most about like the OG Addams family. And yeah, I feel like we're of course getting more development on like what's going on with Tyler and like the bigger pieces at play behind that, along with more character development, because more character development is always welcome. But yeah, I feel like that's all I gotta say for right now. The show is really good, y'all. If you haven't seen it already, you should definitely watch it. I would give this show a solid 8.5 out of 10. Like, I just really love how much care and passion was put into this project. The fact that the dance scene where Wednesday's dancing was completely like choreographed by Jenna herself, like she made that up. And the fact that she did an homage to like the original Wednesday dance, like, attention to detail. Like, there's real passion put into this, and I really do appreciate that, and I really hope that they bring that into season 2. So yeah, love this series. I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you thought about Wednesday. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What are you excited to see in season 2? Let me know everything in the comments below. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Again, if you're new and want to stick around for more content, hit that subscribe button, follow me on my socials at imuRgency, and leave a like on this video on your way out. But other than that, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Again, I've been imuRgency, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.